Hey guys, uh, of course, as soon as I start. What? Can't you see I'm busy? Shh. Shh. Sorry. Never a dull moment in here with these two. Oh my gosh, stop! Oh my goodness. Okay, so sorry about that. um, I've been wanting to do this for a little while. It has just kind of taken me a bit to like get all my thoughts together and figure out how I was gonna put it all together, but there are 9 days left in 2020, right? Yeah. I had to count to make sure. Math is not my strong suit, but 9 days left in 2020. Hard to believe that the year is almost over, but I know all of us are happy for the new year to start, and I firmly believe 2021 is going to be so much better than this year. But 2020 has been a really rough year for me. I know it has been for so many. Luckily, COVID has not really affected me as much, but this year I learned a lot about myself and found who I was and what my purpose was. And that is something that I am so incredibly thankful for. The journey was rough and painful, but I would not trade any of it because I know I went down the path that I was supposed to. So a lot of people know that back in March, I did some inpatient treatment, but I don't think I've really come forward and said what led up to that. And so March 18th, I almost ended my life. And it was a really rough day. And I have actually a video on my phone that I did where I was so distraught and so upset, and I don't even recognize myself in it. And I remember feeling so hopeless that I was like, I don't even know what the point is anymore. And I was very, very close to ending it. And I reached out to a friend that night, and she was able to calm me down and like talk with me. And she sat with me for a little bit, and I started to feel better. And so I came home, and the next day it was just worse, and I started having even worse thoughts, and was getting to that breaking point again. And so I reached out to my friend Kimber because she has a nonprofit organization called Warrior Kind, and they focus on the mental health and well-being for first responders and military. And so something just told me to reach out to her. It was piss pouring rain that day, like hurricane torrential rain. And I remember laying in bed. Honestly, I was looking up ways to end my life. And I was crying, and I remember messaging her going, hey, are you busy? I just need to talk. I'm not okay. And she's like, yeah, come meet me. So this poor girl, bless her heart, gets out in the piss poor rain to meet me. And when I met up with her, I just laid it all out, told her what my plans were the day before, told her what was going through my mind that day I met up with her. And I think one of my most favorite things when I was like telling her everything, she goes, well, we're not going to do that. And so I reached out to her because I knew she could get me the help that I needed. And usually the way I was if I got in that dark place, I didn't tell anybody about it. I just stayed there. Nobody knew. And I just tried to deal with it on my own, but something was tugging at me saying, you need to reach out. And so I did, and her and one of her sergeants was able to get me into Oakwood Springs. in Oklahoma City because they are part of the peer support team for their organization. And I did the inpatient treatment, which I'm so glad I did. That was one of the most humbling experiences of my life. I really wanted to bolt when I first got there because it's so uncomfortable. And that's the thing, when you're not used to getting help, I don't know if you can see his paws. Can I help you? And you're uncomfortable and you're not familiar like with the surroundings or like what you're feeling, like you want to bolt. It's unfamiliar. And so if I would have been given the chance to bolt, I bet you I probably would. But it was one of the best things to happen to me. They were able to get me the therapy I needed, get me on some new stroking out, sorry. New medications. I was able to talk with other people that were going through similar things because the unit I was in there is strictly military and first responders. And so that's what's so great about that is when you need to be inpatient, it's easier to get help versus when you don't need inpatient and you're trying to find outpatient. That's what I kind of ran into back in September. But it was really amazing to see how much the group that was in there with me supported one another and were trying to find ways to help each other overcome their own obstacles. There was a young lady in there that was having a really, really hard time. The group came together and they're like, what can we do to help her? And I made some good friends in there. Like, they seemed like my friends. And even when I left, they hugged me. They're like, good luck. And a lot of them were in the military and they were just truly amazing people. And it was something I needed to do. And it's the first time I've ever done inpatient treatment, but I've never been so close to ending it as I was during that time. And, here I am 9 months later, complete 180. And it feels amazing. I kind of had a realization or revelation, I don't know which one, yesterday, that I was just driving along and I was just thinking, I think this is when I went to go pick up dinner because I was trying to see Saturn and Jupiter because I wanted to see that. But out of nowhere, I heard myself say, you know what? You haven't cried in a really long time. I was like, you know what? I haven't. I have not cried, I think, in 3 months, which is huge for me because for so long, like every day, every week, whatever, I was crying. And I got to thinking about it. I was like, yeah, I haven't. I have not cried in almost 3 months, whether it's happy or sad. But I am much more mentally stable, emotionally stable. There we go. Emotionally stable now than I have been my entire life. And I'm so thankful for that. I'm seeing now all the hard work that I've done and all of like the treatment I've done, the therapy I've done, I'm seeing it work because my brain thinks so much differently than it did before. Part of it being at work, being put in situations where people are flipping out on me for, no reason, and old me would have dished it back because that's my fight or flight. That's how I responded. You come at me, I come out, with my claws out and whatnot. But now I'm just so chill and I don't tense up and I'm just like, well, why are you yelling at me? And that's huge for me. And then, so bills are paid for the month, whatnot. Got bored the other night. I was like, you know what? Let's just go to River Spirit and see what's going on. And those of you how I've shared before, one of the biggest problems I had was gambling. That's how I dealt with everything. Instead of being an alcoholic or a drug addict, I gambled. And I went to River Spirit, I think, with like $60, and that was not fun whatsoever. Like, I started to feel like emotions that I didn't like. And I was like, this isn't for me anymore. Like, I don't like this. I don't want to do this, which is huge for me. Shouldn't have been there in the first place. I get that. But I was like, no, we don't need to come back here. We don't need to do this anymore. which is huge because before it was like I just constantly felt like I needed to be there, and it's gone. It is gone, and it is such an amazing revelation for me to know that I'm not that person anymore. I'm not stuck. I am me. I am evolved into who I'm supposed to be. And that feels amazing. Like when I think back and I look at pictures of like how my bedroom used to be and I look at it now, or how my living room used to be, or anything in the house, and I see how I've changed it, you know, that reflects how happy and at peace I am. Like I don't even understand how I lived the way that I did. And it's awesome to sit back and go, you did it. You are getting better. You are doing better, and you are not the person you used to be. Even with my work, like we're a new company now. And for so long, people knew I tried to leave because I did not like the way things were going. And everywhere I applied, they didn't want me. And so I threw my hands up one day and I'm like, okay, God, you don't want me to leave here. So tell me what my purpose is. What do you want me to do? And then lo and behold, through all of this, they got rid of our contractor, which we're not going to say the name for legal purposes, but a lot of you know who they were. Got rid of them, and now we are local, and they are really changing the way things are for the better. And, you know, they're more team member oriented and actually listening to what we have to say. And, you know, we're kind of getting that opportunity to make it what we've all dreamed that it would be. And so we just like the stars are aligning. And it feels really good to see that I overcame all that. The last therapy session I went to, which was, I think, right before I went back to work in November, my therapist asked me, she goes, what is something you are grateful for in 2020? And I said without hesitation, I said the valleys I had to crawl out of and the mountains I had to climb. And I seriously mean that. Because if I had not had to crawl through those valleys and climb up those mountains, I would still be stuck in the same place I have been for the last 15 years. And that's not good. I'm 31 years old now. I don't need to be stuck, you know, in my 16-year-old mentality or, you know, whatnot. For so many years, I had to live in fight or flight response, which is why I only knew how to be reactive to things. Now, I've healed. I'm at peace with everything that's happened to me. I still have occasional, like, mild flashbacks. They're nothing like what they have been. They're very, very mild, and they're odd. Like, I'll wake up and go, well, these two, like, why did I have dreams like that? But one of the psychiatrists had told me that it's the way your brain processes things and heals. So dreams help your brain heal, apparently. But I'm excited to see what the new year holds. I actually just sat down at my kitchen table and was writing down like the goals that I wanted to have for 2021. And all of that stuff. And so I am so excited to see what the new year brings. And I hope you guys all have an amazing Merry Christmas and a wonderful Happy New Year. And I can't thank you guys enough for all of your love and your support through all of this. You guys know I'm always here for you. You can always reach out to me. I will do what I can to help you. I'm always a shoulder to lean on, an ear to listen. Whatever you need, just reach out to me. Because together, you know, we can lift each other up, and as I said before, together we can make a difference, and together we can make a change. So thank you guys so much. I really, really, really appreciate all of you.